So I'm going to talk a little bit about today, like a Gen AI and a little bit agentic AI, and then how to make a great AI application in production. And then I got two quick questions before I'm getting started. How many people are Java developer here? Any Java experience? Awesome, a lot of that. And how many people are actually like some responsible for AI engineer? Wow, a lot. That's cool. So my name is Daniel. I'm from Boston, United States. I'm a long-time CNCF ambassador and then like a track chair and among others and a lot of community contribution. If you joined the keynote yesterday, you probably saw me and during the keynote share the CNCF stuff. And I'm also Java champion for a long time. And here's my contact, Daniel030. So when I created Daniel, like a handler, social media, GitHub, among others, there are many Daniel around the world. So I try to find the Daniel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that, and I end up with the Daniel number 30. So that's why I have Daniel 30. So you can find me any social media like x.com and LinkedIn and Blue Sky and GitHub and YouTube channel as well. So please find me and reach out to me if you have any question about this topic in Java and cloud and CNCF. I'm happy to chat with us. Okay, so let me a little bit one step back, try to understand the journey of Gen AI and LLMs. So people maybe, I know you guys already have great experience AI stuff for the last 2 days and in many other conferences and the YouTube channel and the blog posts and so on. But sometimes some people actually misunderstand when the AI actually came out. AI actually came out almost 100 years ago, like many decades ago. And at the time, we named on artificial intelligence, and then it kept evolving into like a machine learning, deep learning, and Gen AI 2.5 years ago from OpenAI. And a lot of companies jump into that market, and the Google Gemini and OpenAI ChatGPT, and then DeepSeek R1 and the Grok, and many others. You're probably using AI tool every single day. I actually use more than 10 AI tools. And you know what? So my first desk slide, I actually generate this image, the Hyderabad, the city view from Google Gemini. I actually don't know this is accurate or not. Please tell me if you're living in this city, a lovely city, my first visiting. But I've been India a lot of time, but this city first time. Just tell me this is correct or not after that. Okay. So, and then now people more talking about agentic AI. So agentic AI is not hard. So you probably not super fan of like a science, like a Marvel movies, but you probably saw that, watch that like Avengers, and then there are Tony Stark, Iron Man. He has his own personal and assistant, which is Jarvis, a long time ago. But for the Avengers, the Age of Ultron, that is like an agentic AI, literally. Super smart, like an almighty God, but not God as well. And he changed it to Vision, and then he got another agentic AI, which he was Friday. Which means you probably have your own agentic AI someday in the future. Could be advanced Siri, or it could be advanced like Alexa on Amazon, or something else, or whatever you name on it. And you can just ask whatever you want to your personal agent, and you don't need to talk to a person. You just ask whatever you want to your agent. That agent will ask your friend's agent. And then each agent has its own priority. My master, or me, and my master, Daniel, has own priority. He doesn't want to go to some Italian restaurant in Hyderabad city. He wants to go to some more local restaurant. But his colleague, he doesn't want to eat Indian food. He doesn't want more eat like a seafood, something other Western style. And then each agent has own priority and how to handle that. That's why you have maybe other agents, such as like a more routing agent or orchestra agent, or whatever you call that. So there are some kind of new world of agents that we call the agentic AI. Anyway, back to the like a history, and then you got I would say like a generative AI or Gen AI, which includes like agentic AI as well. And then here is the agent, the generative AI, right side, the LLM. And then what happened? So you got a lot of work. Like I'm gonna say more detail, but you got a lot of use cases, and you gotta have some experience of how to create a prompt. We say prompt engineering, which is just some awkward terminology, but some people actually already got new job for prompt engineering to try to say more detailed kind to understand your AI model. Even if you have a very smart AI model like OpenAI or DeepSeek R1 or even any other great model like a Quen or any other model, if you ask a very like a silly question, one sentence could be not good answer from them. So that's why how do you ask a question more like a smarter, better? That is a prompt engineering. And then you also have many different AI model and you got to answer. So that is how it works. So the problem is that journey is not only for AI engineer, very fancy name, or formerly they call by themselves data scientist. But what about the application developer? So you probably got some experience as application developer. Doesn't matter Java, .NET, Python, or JavaScript, or even COBOL. And you want to secure your job. You don't want to be laid off. You're going to keep doing your great stuff on AI journey. So this is just some kind of how do you adopt AI journey for application developer. Mainly 3 steps. The first step, you're gonna just try to evaluate your AI journey. You need to pick it up, which model will be great for your application. So if you go to Hugging Face today, there's almost 2 million models right now. LLMs, SLM, or some great model, small model, and very specific model, instruction model, chat model, image generation, text generation, video generation, or combine some of the stuff. It's really hard to find the right model for you. Just imagine that 10 years ago, Kubernetes came out and container technology came out. And now, after a couple months later, or 6 months later, when you go to containerized, for example, Docker, registry, you can find the millions of container images. Which container image will be better for you on your Java or .NET application? You cannot find out in 5 minutes. So you're going to give it a try and error and so on as your architect role or senior developer roles. You got to probably pretty much the same challenge today. That is the first step, not the end. The second step, you're going to give it a try, build application with your preferred program language, Java, .NET, Python, something like that. And in the meantime, you're going to probably make it better AI services or application. Try to consider like advanced topic such as a RAG or like a guardrails or like a supply chaining or advanced prompt engineering kind of stuff. So you probably add more and more capability into your application. In the meantime, you maybe figure it out, oh, my AI model doesn't good for me. When you develop application, and you're gonna go back to first step and then try to find a new model to fix the problem. And then once you've done right model, and then right application, you're going to deploy to the production using like a CI/CD or some pipeline stuff. And then your friend, platform engineer or AI engineer or DevOps engineer, they're going to start operate your AI application along with that AI models. Like a monitoring and logging, tracing, and utilizing your like a GPU accelerator on NVIDIA or some of the stuff. So that's really happening all the time. But as a developer, so you don't need to be like a super expert, like some good knowledge, just like an AI engineer. So as a developer, you're probably expecting 3 kinds of stuff. One is, where is my API? And what is the credential? And what is the SDK for my program languages? That's exactly developer always wants. You don't need to worry about very specific the AI data scientist knowledge at all. So it's just another external service, just like your database messaging broker or like some single sign-on server. And one concern for AI application developer may be some kind of billing cost. So previously, our API gateway was some API-based application development. you can expect how many API call you're going to actually use that for your microservices or cloud-native application. But now you cannot, because you just create AI application, and then specifically agentic AI application is call AI model and external tool autonomously. It could be one, it could be 10,000. You cannot expect that. And then you got some bill statement at the end of the month with like a couple $100, something like that. So I'm going to a little bit more give some example today, like a Java application. Luckily, we have many Java developers, but some of the technology is not super highly rely on Java. You can actually apply for this any program language like a JavaScript, Python, and so on. So as always, a developer, they want to have a framework rather than build their own application from scratch. So as you can see, so we have some opinionated choices today. So Quarkus is some kind of brand new, not brand new actually. It was invented almost 60 years ago. I'm actually part of a Quarkus team. So Quarkus is a new Java framework like a Spring Boot, and it pretty much primarily focus on developer productivity. So developer always do three things. One is write a code and testing code and the build code. And then go back to the first step, if you got something error or you need to add new features. We say inner loop process. You're going to do that every single day with some ID tool, IntelliJ or VS Code. So Quarkus try to reduce that time for individual developer. That is a developer productivity, but also try to integrate in many ecosystem like a cloud and AI and among others. So LangChain4j, which is kind of new open source project inspired from LangChain, Python based, but not copy and paste, not like a downstream. It's a totally different project, but inspire that AI application development capability like a RAG, chain, and among others. And the model context protocol, aka MCP, is like almost 8 months ago, Anthropic released this open source project because AI model doesn't matter whatever you choose. AI model is not almighty God. Still, AI model communicate with some external tool because when you create your own AI services based on your business requirement, AI model maybe doesn't know details. That's why you need to access your own legacy system, like it could be database, external services, or your own like a legacy infrastructure. And then AI model has no idea how to access that external services. That's why you need a tool. And then you can actually define and write a code how to access the external tool like a programmatically way. Or you can just let LLM and AI application access the tool autonomously. That's what we can say agentic AI application. So in a Java code snippet, you can just put in the one dependency like a Quarkus, LangChain4j for OpenAI. For example, I want to use OpenAI. You can use OpenAI. You can use any other like a AI platform, Hugging Face or like a Olama or even any other kind of. Or you can see that like a cloud and like a watsonx or whatever you want to that. And here's a quick code snippet for Java because the developer always wondering what the source code actually looks like. You can very simple application. I'm going to do that real quick live demo. Hopefully it's going to work. And register AI services, and then you can say like prompt engineering, use some user messaging, and you can use a tool. So pretty simple. And what kind of enterprise AI application capability you have to consider when you go to second step? You remember that we have a 3-step. The second step, you're going to actually build your application. Prompt engineering and the RAG, the retrieval augmented generation. So sometimes you have some kind of seasonal eventing. So keep changing some of the like your corporate policy or some framework library or any kind of cases really happen frequently. which you don't need to. You can't even do fine-tuning AI model. It's super expensive. For example, you have like two GPU, NVIDIA GPU process, each one like a more than like a $300,000 to run your AI models. But when you do fine-tuning, you probably maybe 6 or 10 same size of a GPU processor. So, and even if you do fine-tuning one time, this is only for specific application, not whole application. So that's exactly, you need to very cautious to do fine-tuning stuff, working closely with the AI engineering team. So with that, instead of that, you can actually upload your relevant document, text file, PDF or CSV, which includes some more details. And then you still, end user, ask a simple question, but AI application automatically attaches that document to make it better question to LLM to understand very clearly. And of course, agent tool and guardrail is a lot of people ask me, hey, Dan, how do you protect some information, like a sensitive information, not going to sending back to the end user or passing through LLM, like a personal information, like a passport ID, or my credit card information, something like that. Or I'm going to just create a bomb. How do I do that? And then you cannot get answer. It's not legal thing. So how do we make it happen on my AI application? That is actually guardrails. And of course, AI application is not super unique. It's one of your business application in your production, just like other business services. So that's why the application should be observed as observability, like a metrics tracing auditing, just like your traditional existing microservices. So as a developer standpoint, you have to add that kind of capability into your application as well. So I'm going to go to quick live demo with the Quarkus from scratch. So here is go to the Quarkus.io. So this is like an open source project landing page. When you go to Quarkus.io, and then you can see that start coding, and then start the code, and then I'm gonna a little bit bigger. Okay, here we go. So basically, the Quarkus open source project invented by Red Hat with many individual contributors, and it was donated to Common House, which is like some non-commercial organization and foundation, which orchestrate more and manage Java project, like Maven, JReleaser, and SDK-Man, and JBank, and Hibernate, among others. And the Quarkus basically released every other week for minor release. So it just released last night, 3.25.1. So this is a pretty simple UI. I'm going to create a new Quarkus, and I'm going to try to use the Quarkus, let's say, agent. And I'm going to use it maybe. Hopefully everybody can see that. And the interesting part, so there are more than like 1,000 library you can use that to develop your own application. But luckily you can have some preset, pretty much easier, like a scratch, rather than scratch. REST services or database transaction, event-driven application, or web application, or something like that. Luckily, we have AI-infused services. Why we say infused? Because AI already infused your daily life. And also, you probably needed to create a new AI application with your existing application, which is AI infuse your existing application capability. I have already stupid chat box, and I'm gonna make it better chat box, more like a smarter chat box. That is AI infuse your stupid chat box, make it smarter chat box. And then I'm gonna choose this one, and as you can see, we have OpenAI by default and Easy RAG. This is a RAG capability. So RAG, basically, you need to create a bunch of things, like how to make a segment, my document, like a split segment, and then upload to the vector store or embedding store, and then the other part, you're gonna process that segment with the embedding model, and then also retrieve the segment from embedding model, and then combine the question and answer. So there are multi pieces of you have to implement for your RAGing, but easy RAG from LangChain J is to make it way easier for developer. You just need to specify the location, like a local path of your document, like a /Daniel/ in my temp or some directory, and then just put in your file. It automatically just grab the file and upload your embedding vector store, and then link to your embedding model. Some model provide embedding capability and chat capability, image generation capability, at the same time, but some model only support embedding model. It's just in case which model you're going to use it. I don't use the RAG today, but I'm going to use MCP for using external tool. So I'm going to use that one. Now let me just generate zip file, and then I'm going to unzip file, and then open to my IDE. And then pretty much bigger. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to try to run Quark's Zen mode. Is a development mode. So whenever I change my code, it automatically rebuild, recompile, restart. I don't need to do manually. This is one of the good thing. And then we can say Quark's live coding stuff. And so for example, I'm going to go to POM XML. You can see that I'm going to using Java 21 by default. And then a few extension here. And maybe dependency, OpenAI, and MCP kind of stuff. So, but I really love to more latest Java version. Let me try to change it 24. And then IntelliJ automatically save my file. As you can see the below, it automatically restart my Quark's app. It's super fast. And then also I'm going to use Quark's Dev UI, which is a more graphical UI, like for more Zenji people. So if you're old and you don't like the UI, you're probably more like a CLI. And so anyway, so I like the both CLI and UI. So let me try to add like one library, Borax, because Quark is based on Reactive Engine, which is a Borax and Netty. And when I go to Quarkus, it's already restart. And then here you go Quarkus Dev UI. It's a lot of kind of, so you can actually configure all configuration. You can see that actually change your file from here. And then you can see the endpoint and dev service automatic start container, out-of-box feature of a test container, and what kind of metrics you have, and the kind of dependency, you can see that. So it's more like a graphical UI, but not only kind of stuff, you see that LangChain project, there's no AI service tool right now. And then let me go back to quickly here. And then let's try to create a new AI application. So let me try to add a new Java class, let's say agent, and then it should be an interface. And I'm going to register this AI as a plain interface. So one annotate, which allows me this plain interface into agent generative AI services right now. Pretty simple. I'm going to do that one just method, like let's say agent, and the user message is a prompt engineering. Whenever I ask some question-based text-based, it automatically wrapping up and then sending to AI model. And let's say questions. And also I can add one prompt engineering, system engineering. So system engineering is just one time sending to AI model at the very start, the initial message, which is not coming from user, it's coming from AI's application. This is a Quarkus in this case. And then it's define the AI model behavior and scope and like preferences. So let's say, you are a professional assistant and all available to should be realized without explicit request. Okay. explicit. Okay, typo. Okay, cool. So I just put in the two lines. One is your professional assistant. The other is all available tool. I don't even say what kind of tool is available right now. That's it. Just 12 line of my code. And here's my property. I'm going to use OpenAI here, like OpenAI key. I just hide it. I don't want to expose that. And then I'm going to use the default model for O mini. And then some of the logging here. And I'm going to use MCP stuff here. MCP server. I'm going to use a few MCP server here. MCP memory, keep memorize my conversation rather than making some idiot models, and then using Google Map and Brave Search, like a more open source version of a Google search, and I'm going to using Slack channel. A few things. So you can actually go to Model Context Server GitHub repository. You can find more than 700 external tools as well. That's it. When I go back to my dev UI, and then you can see that I have one service right now, which is agent. And then here's a chat box. I don't even have a fancy front-end application using JavaScript. I already have some quickly checking my kind of stuff. And here's some prompt engineering stuff here. Make it a little bit saving time. So I'm gonna sending right now. So my name is Daniel. I'm the member of two team. I'm like Indian food, and my colleague a very strict gluten-free diet. And please find a good authentic biryani restaurant in Hyderabad and highest rating. I'm not going to like a less than 3.5 Google rating. Gonna be very risky for me. And then I also need to some kind of direction from here, convention center. So this is really I just my like a former asking for my personal assistant, which is probably human being. And now you can see that. In the meantime, when I go back to my log file, you can see that it's not a one line, it's a maybe 100,000 lines just happening. So my agentic AI application automatically decide running on MCP server here based on like a Brave search on memory automatically, which is started by Quarkus automatically. It automatically decides which function call I'm going to use it here as a function or function call. So this agentic AI will find out the best answer and solution for me, fulfill my question. So when I go back to UI, let's go back to UI here. And then here's just some kind of direction, and then a few kind of stuff. For example, I do kind of biryani. Hopefully someone actually, this is a right restaurant. And then you can see that rating 4.5. And I can actually ask, sending the recommendations to a lunch time channel on Slack. Because this is a lunch time, for example, there's nothing in there. It's my team channel, as an example. And I'm going to send in. And then as you can go back to my application, IDE, it also happening again really fast. So that's why you probably need the observability, and then you're going to have the guardrail kind of stuff. And then it's successfully sending out. And when I go to here, and you can see that some kind of stuff, you just share team channel kind of thing. So very simple. Let me go back to slide. We almost running out of time. So it's a very quick, simple, a few takeaway from here, the Java, and you can pretty much easy to create the agentic AI application. You don't need to worry about how to access the tool, kind of stuff. So how do we bring this all to production-ready application, like making scalable application, like a container and a Kubernetes kind of stuff? When you go to CNCF landscape, specifically MAD, machine learning and artificial intelligence and data, you can find this kind of stuff. What do you feel? Just like this guy, you feel very confused and then maybe pissed off. So which project, 1 or 1,000 project, which one I'm going to use that? So luckily, we have another open source project, OpenDataHub.io, which actually grab many kinds of stuff for MLOps platform and the application platform. And then not only Java, but also Python or JavaScript, whatever you prefer for language platform, you can actually bring in together in one like a open source, like a AI scalable platform, put into together, and then go to there and how do you can start it, that kind of stuff. And the more important thing is that you can actually still go on your journey. The first step, you can prepare and then pick up your model and your prepare language. Today I'm going to show Quarkus Language Info-J and then MCP. You can also still use MCP and JavaScript, MCP and Python. So MCP support like a polyglot program languages, and you can choose your preferred program language as well. And then you're gonna run your application with your own local LLM. Could be Olama, could be JLlama, could be like a Parliament Desktop AI Lab, but very small. And then you probably need to more like a giant model with your AI application, which probably you're gonna use open source like a VLLM. VLLM is you can allow it to attach like a big giant GPU accelerator with your own AI application. And then maybe you're gonna come back to your local environment again to find like add some more enterprise AI grade capability like a RAG or some other stuff. And then once you're done, your production grade AI platform, same AI application, maybe multiple GPU accelerator, and then add more AI capability with the Kubernetes, scaling, automation, and then observability, and so on with the Open Data Hub. So, and then if you someone actually more question about like guardrail stuff, how to protect your sensitive information, so my colleague Vincent and Nidita, they will talk about that kind of stuff right after this session, under the whole 3. So that's all. Thank you so much for attending this session. And if you have any question, and please reach out to me. Thank you. Have a good rest of the day.